Hey everybody, it's Strict9 with Strict9 GP, and I'm back with another episode of my Draft Day Sports College Basketball 2020 playthrough. About to start the conference schedule with this Penn State Nittany Lions, so might get through a few games of that and see how we start out. I made a little bit of adjustments to the depth chart from last episode just to try and get mainly Reichart, who's a freshman recruit at power forward, big guy, got a lot of size. I'm hoping that he can develop a little bit. So I'm giving him more play time at power forward. Depends on how he does. He might get even more as the season goes on. Trying to get Ratliff, who's another freshman recruit, more play time. So that was the big thing, the big changes. I may have got a few other guys in here. I think Ferguson maybe. Into the shooting guard mix, but for the most part, just want to get Reichart some more time. I'm hoping that he can turn into a pretty strong power forward for me. But I wanted to start this episode off by thanking some of the commenters. Let's see, we've got GM Games, Corey Key, The Coolest Jedi, Don Black, 1975. Some good comments there about recruiting, especially Don Black. You nailed it on the problem I was having with the recruiting, and I thought I would kind of start off showing that because it's not a glitch, but it's something you really need to pay attention to. So as he mentioned in his comments, you're limited in terms of how many people you can add to your call and watch list. It tops out at 50. And so what had happened is I really started the season because I have 6 scholarships to offer. I started out the season just putting as many players in there as I could, like 3-star and above mainly, and it was maxed out. And what happened, as these guys were getting offers somewhere else, they were no longer showing on this list because I've got it filtered to only available recruits. And what was happening is I couldn't add anybody to the list, and I thought that, well, since those guys signed elsewhere, they must have automatically dropped from the list, but that wasn't the case, and I'll show you what I mean. So what has to happen when you get guys who go to sign with other colleges, you still have to manually remove them from the list. And so what you have to do is you have to go to all recruits, and then you have to, make sure you're looking at all positions. And so it's going to show guys here who've signed elsewhere, like Desmond White. I went through and removed them all, except for a few before this episode because I wanted to show you what I'm talking about. So I've still got these guys showing here that I need to remove because they've already signed at other places. So to remove them, you just highlight it, hit R, and that's going to get him off the call list. And so with that in mind, I was able to go through and look at the remaining recruits and start adding some more guys. So maybe all is not lost, but I really do still need to really make some moves here. And so I'm going to start and do a little recruiting here right off the bat. I added Kerry Harrison. He's out of state. I haven't contacted him yet. He might not, as he just did there. He's probably not interested. But trying to get a point guard. I've got one guy offered right now, and he's not in state. I do like his high school stats for what it's worth. I'm going to see if I can get him interested a little bit more. I haven't really I usually go for conference prestige and school location right off the bat because I think that's the two things I can offer right now. But I'm trying to get him interested just as a backup plan. And I'm looking, there was another comment from one of the commenters. In terms of recruiting, I mean, the stars, I guess, are a good way to filter it, and it should be the most important thing. But I think you really have to just pay attention to everything. So I'm starting to look at things like their stats. As I get to calling them and maybe watching film. Um, just seeing if there's some things that are standing out there. I've got Manny Dixon here, who's we're currently his third on his list. I really want to get this guy in. I think he would be a good recruit, so I'm going to work on him a little bit more. Hopefully he'll still be available. He wouldn't answer. So hopefully he'll still be available when I get back to the contact period, and I can go and make those hard pitches. Here's another in-state recruit I'm trying to get. So he likes conference prestige and school location. So he's probably a good guy to target. Let me see. He's already visited the school. We don't know who his top 10 is, and that's just because I didn't realize that I could put these guys back on there. So I'm going to scout him live and watch film. And let's see if there's anybody else here who I might can try to target. Will Oakley, rated pretty highly, but let's move to another position. So maybe I'll try to get a power forward recruit. I haven't called this guy, so let me see if he's got any interest in coming out of state. All right, we'll try to see if that was Tremaine Anderson. I'm going to host him, watch film, see if he'll come. He won't come. Sam Neeser. I'm going to watch film. I can't dial him. Oh, I'm out of calls, I guess, for the week. But at least maybe I'm back on track a little bit. I've got some recruits I can work here. Ted Brown's another guy I really want to work pretty hard. I think we are in the list for him. It's going to be a tough recruit. He's one of the best out there available at center. But we got some more things to do. I've got 4 scholarship offers already, and I just basically panicked and started giving out scholarships to recruits that I've contacted and had some positives from. But we're not to the point where we've got a lot of guys showing up with us as their number one school. So that's going to be probably hit or miss. But I might salvage something. But let's go ahead and get started into the conference schedule. I'd like to get maybe 5 games in today. And I think there was some commenting too about how tough this is, what I've picked up. And I think that's the lesson here I'm seeing is that just because you're going to a top conference doesn't mean a whole lot, and it certainly doesn't mean that you're going to have an advantage in recruiting just because of that. And these scouting reports, I can look at them. I'm pretty sure we're going to be scouted to lose just about every game. Like Indiana, they were like 60 plus favored to win. Michigan's probably even higher. Yeah, they're like 73. And that's mainly because of the level of talent we have. I did take a look at it, I think, last episode, and was a little bit more optimistic because there were some other teams there that were struggling depth-wise. But the big thing is we're not getting 4- and 5-star recruits. And in this conference, you have to compete with the likes of Maryland and Wisconsin and Michigan State. So it's been kind of the struggle there. And so I'm not sure where I'll go after this. If I do lose this job, if I keep playing, I probably will. I really enjoy the challenge of this game. But I'm getting antsy, too, to start showcasing some other games on my channel. When's our first game? I think we're playing Maryland, too, in the first game. But it may be the next team I try to take on is backing away and going to a smaller conference, but maybe a team with a decent team prestige in a lower conference. That may be something I'll do next, but we'll have to see. So I'm still waiting for this first game. When's it coming? I think it might be here. Yeah, so we got Maryland already ranked 15th. They're 9-3, 1-0 in the Big Ten. Illinois is off to a good start. Wisconsin. Ohio State struggled throughout this playthrough. They're about in the same level as Penn State is. Nebraska's off to a good start. They're a team that struggled. Let me take a look just to see if maybe Nebraska's got some good recruits finally. So where are they? They're right here. They're already 1-0 in conference. No, they. This is what I'm talking about. So I mean, there are some teams in the same position we are in terms of how our scout, anyway, our assistant with scouting, views their ratings. So they're maxed out here at 2.5 stars. So I'm hoping that means we'll still be competitive with those type teams, but I'm really not expecting to tackle a team like Maryland or Wisconsin or now Illinois. It looks like they're making a move up the line. But let's go ahead and play this game, see how bad it goes. Oh, holy cow. We won that game. So Eddie Perry suffered an injury, I noticed there, but that's a shocker. 68-67. As sad as it may be, that is probably the biggest win we've had since I've taken over this Penn State team. It seems like we may have had a Michigan State win at one point, but I don't know if we've ever beaten Maryland. Let's look at the box score here. That is unbelievable. I'm a little bit stunned. So they were shooting 40% at a tough day at the line, or for three-pointers, 25%. On the flip side for us, well, we didn't shoot much better. Had a few more trips to the line. We didn't shoot well at the line, so I'm not sure how that was working. But look at the rebounds, 40-35. And Robinson, senior, I think overall my best player, 19 points from him. Parks, 19 points, 13 rebounds. So a double-double from both Robinson and Parks. Parks, maybe one of his best games ever. 10 rebounds, 12 points. A block in there, just one personal foul. Great game from him. Lee, 8 points, playing in that shooting guard position. Jennings, man, not much from him. And Rijkaard off the bench, he didn't show it in like the numbers, but a plus 12. So the team played well when he was out there. So this was a good win. Robinson, 19 points, player of the game easily, but what a win to start off the season. Man, I'm stunned. So that was a home game, I'm thinking. Let me see if it shows it again here. I think that's the way it is. Penn State's listed down there. And, if you go to school info or history, maybe, I think it is. Let's look at history. You can see all-time win-loss records. So, I guess I have to look at it let me see if I go by conference. So we are 1-7 against Wisconsin. This will be a best way to do it. So this has been our record against these guys. So we are starting with Wisconsin 1-7, 3-5 against Rutgers, 2-5 against Purdue, 1-4 against Ohio State. You can tell we just haven't done that well. Northwestern, 6 wins against them in Nebraska. Minnesota, we've yet to win. Michigan, just 1 win. Well, that was their 3rd win against Maryland, so that's a surprise. We have never beaten Iowa, 0-9. Indiana, Illinois, really upside down against those two. So that was a great win for this team. So who can tell, I guess. I think, we just squeaked by. Maryland did not have a great game, but I'm trying not to get too overconfident after that one. I mean, the goal is 15 wins once again and finishing top half of the conference standings. I think that's what it's going to take to save my job. So what do we got here? We're not playing today, but let me look at the emails. We may have had more scouting reports coming in. Rutgers. We're 50-50 against Rutgers. We have a better bench, but no other advantages. And then Ohio State. Wow, they are way ahead of us. They have the advantage in a lot of places except for bench. I think I can do some recruiting here, and I'm going to have to at this point. We're still in the evaluation period, but I really need to work on these guys. So Ted Brown, I'm going to watch some more film of him, but I'm going to try to pick up any other things that I don't have. It looks like I got most from him, but he's a guy who's going to be tough to get. I know that that's the case here with him. I mean, we are 9th now for his school, so I'm probably wasting a lot of time. Adam Alvin, in-state recruit. He's still not interested, and he had a bad visit, unfortunately. Let's see if there's anybody else here. I haven't. Michael Russell. I'll try him just to see if there's anything. So school location, that's almost always one of those things that they choose. I don't know why that's a big thing, but just about every time it's like playing close to home is one of the best, or one of their biggest ask. Now, Kent Alston, I haven't worked him yet. I'm going to go ahead and do that because, he's in state. I'm hoping that school location is important. So, again, he matches up with our program because he's really interested in school location. That's his number one. Conference prestige a little bit, so we're in a good conference. So he's interested there. But team prestige he doesn't really care about. So that matches up with what we've got to offer. Now, he hasn't visited. I'm going to host him, watch film, and then I'm going to go back to shooting guard because that's really one of those areas that I'm really looking. Manny Dixon has a scholarship out for him so far. Shannon Shepard, we're number 2 on his list. I'm going to call and make some more pitches to him. So playing time, it's very important to him. Academics, not so much. Get his parents in here, so that's not going to be an issue. If I could get 2 shooting guards, that would be really ideal at this point. I think Marcus Robinson had no interest, but what can else? I can scout him live and watch film, and then I think this guy, I called him. Hey, we're on his list. Location is important for him. He will come, so I'm going to let him visit the school. And let's see, point guard again. That's another one where I really need to. John Davis. I know he's not ranked too high, but let's see what I need to work on with him. Let me call him a few more times. He's just kind of at this point like a backup plan at the moment because I need at least one recruit. Now, I don't know what happened there. See, I just went back to I'm not sure why it did that, but that's weird. I think I might be maxed out here. Let me see if this Kerry Harrington playing time is the only thing I've got from him, but let's dial him up and see if I can get some information on like school location. That's his number 1 priority. Conference prestige. Yeah. I may even. Why is it doing that? So that was that Harrington? I wonder if he will. Yeah, he'll come as well. I'm going to watch film. All right, so uh, that's maybe enough for recruiting this week. Let's get back to playing games. We have not really gotten a good win streak going either. Certainly not in conference. I think about the best start I've had in conference since I've taken over this team. I think we were like 4-2, maybe, or 3-3 in our first 6 games, and had a feeling that it may have been last season where I thought we were probably going to be competitive. Didn't turn out that way, unfortunately. So now we're on the road against Michigan. Oh boy, this it's a tough start, really. And that was an expected loss. I didn't see the score pop up. We'll see how bad it was. But at the moment, I'm riding that Michigan game still because that's one we're not really expected to win. So easy win for them, 64-50. We just couldn't get anything going. Shooting 34%. So we've had 2 pretty rough shooting games. Didn't go to the line a whole lot. We were competitive, I guess, defensively. They just shot 36.5%, but they had a few guys double digits. For us, Jennings, honestly, pretty good game. 7 rebounds, 9 points, but he was the leading scorer with Lee. Uche, 6 assists, 7 points. Parks, that's not what I want to see. Good game, bad game, but off the bench, not much more happening. Reichardt got 10 minutes in this one, scored 6, but was kind of in the negative there when he was out there. I don't think anybody was plus. Maybe Bailey, and that looks to be it. Robinson played a lot of minutes, but they held him in check. So in terms of the other weekly games, I think I saw a little bit of an upset there. Going back to Iowa over Minnesota, 68-66. Northwestern over Purdue. Michigan State, an easy win. I guess we were due an upset in terms of that Maryland game, but that's the thing with this team. We're gonna have to have a lot of upsets to really compete. Now we're going up against Indiana, who's struggled so far, 0-2 in the Big Ten. But my guess is if I look at the scouting, and I think I can just do it honestly, the best way to do it is just go to the dashboard because it shows you your next opponent. So Indiana 62-38, and matchups. I mean, they should handle us pretty easy on this one. But we're at home. We beat Maryland at home. Indiana looking for their first win. They're not going to get it. So we are 7-5, 2-1 in the conference. That's one of those games where I think in past seasons, the previous couple seasons, that's been a toss-up. So I'm thinking, well, we won big. We need to win those kind of games consistently to have a shot at finishing with a good season. So defensively, again, we held them to 35% shooting. They had a poor shooting performance in the 3-point line. Out rebounded them maybe, 45-26. So that's another thing that we've really started to pick up this year. Look at the games I'm showing so far. We're either out rebounding or we're competitive in rebounds. That was a struggle the previous 2 seasons. We're still struggling with 3-pointers, 22.7% in this game, but we outshot them from the field overall. Had a really good showing at the free throw line. So our points in the paint, pretty close, but we beat them there. Second chance points, fast break points were tied. Player of the game, Jennings. This guy's been up and down, but this was one of his better games. 8 rebounds, 14 points, plus 18, had 2 blocks. Good overall game from him. Robinson, 10 rebounds, but he struggled shooting the last couple games. Parks, better performance from him. Uche, 5 assists, and then Lee, double digits in points. A lot of rebounds from that starting lineup. And then off the bench, Reichardt, I'm paying a lot of attention to him. 3 rebounds, 6 points. Sandin, not as good off the bench. I mean, he's a senior now, and I do still feel like Parks is the better option at center. If you look, 7.3 points, almost 5 rebounds. He gives me blocks here and there. You just don't get that from Sandin. He might score a little bit more points if you give him more minutes, but that's about it. I want to look at the dashboard too, just because I haven't in a while. I want to see how these relationships are going. It looks like we're in the yellow in a lot of these. Jason Bailey's a senior. Not much I can do about that. His team relationship's not good. Peter Peterson, he's one of those guys, like I say, or like I said maybe at the start, he was a freshman recruit who looked like he had a chance to be a good player, but once season started, his ratings tanked. He's a disruptive force. If he leaves, I'm going to be okay with that. Eddie Perry, not a good coach relationship because he wants minutes. I just don't know how to give this guy minutes with these shooting forwards that I have. So Ratliff, his team relationship's not good because of his personality. But he's in line to be the starter next year if he stays with the team. But a lot of poor relationships there. Nothing too out of control right now. We had some incidents at the start of the season you may have seen in that last episode, and I kind of ignored them there at the end. And either they went away or they just got better on their own. But I've had some poor luck with that, where I've tried to correct some attitude problems and wound up making it worse. So I don't want to do that with my starters for sure at this point. So we should have some recruiting updates here this week. And let's see how that's going to turn out. So Purdue, we might be starting to get scouted. Nah, they're still picked to beat us. I was thinking we might have some better luck with scouting. Wisconsin, way advantage to them. Big advantage. Scary Harrington visited. He enjoyed it, but he wasn't blown away. Jim Gray's really... That's the kind of visit you want to have. He had an awesome time. Ken Austin didn't think it was worthwhile. So I forget where Gray's was. Was he a power? Yeah, they didn't move him up any. I think it was a shooting guard, Jim Gray's. Excuse me. So he's now moved up to 5th. So I'm going to try to work him a little bit, watch some film. I don't know if I've gotten his parents' information. Try to get some more information to make that hard pitch on him. Marcus Robinson, might as well just give him the boot. Here's another guy, Will O'Kelly, Manny Dixon. We're number 2 on his list right now. He's a guy who I really need to, if I'm going to get him, and for some reason I just like this guy's makeup. Marco Gordon, I don't have anything but location on him. I need to really see what I can figure out about him. Conference prestige, not a big concern. Academics, not a whole lot from him, but He's already visited. I think he just had a lukewarm, kind of a average visit, but he's somebody I want to. I'm scouting him live and watching film, and then I want to go back to power forward. Tremaine Anderson. I think he would talk to us. So let me see if I can get some more information. Conference press. I said he was going to talk to us. Maybe not. Will he visit? Yeah, he will. So maybe we'll get a good visit from him. I haven't called him yet. Let me see if I can get some information on him. School location, conference prestige, and team prestige. So those are the biggies. And he's visited, I think. So I'm not gonna try to get him here. I'll scout him live and watch some film. And did I do point guard this week? I need to really Paul Keys. See if he'll. No, he's out of. Gosh, point guard's going to be a problem, I think. Have I gotten anything on this guy? Not a lot, but he's from West Virginia, not too far away, right? From. All right, so not getting too much from him, and I'll go small forward. Reggie Crawford, who I have a scholarship out there for. He's a guy I'm going to really. Bobby Anderson, man, we're on his list. He's out of North Carolina. Let me see what else I can get from him on a pitch. Playing time. Coach discipline. All right. Now, I don't know if he's come. Yeah, he's visited. Ted Brown, where is he looking now? I think he's ninth. I think, he's going to be just... why would this guy not be interested? I don't understand. In-state... Abe Gaines, we're third on this guy's list. I'm gonna maybe have him come to visit. His GPA is pretty low though, but got to get what we can get. So let's move on back to the games. We're not playing today. Boy, it'd be nice to start out like maybe 3-2, 4-2, 3-3. That would be a great start at this point. Two nice wins so far. I'll take a look at the standings and stuff when we get through here. Did that stop? So we're on the road against Ohio State. Ohio State, I'm sure they're going to be scouted ahead of us. I don't know if I don't think I looked at them. Yeah, they've got a good team this year. Look at these, look at this depth. I mean, this might be the year they turn it around. Scouting wise, we're not going to be scouted well against them. I'm thinking this would be a pretty big upset, but in the past, this is one of those that we should be competitive in and win, but I'm not seeing it this time. Yep, and we lose. That drops us to 7-6, 2-2 in conference. If we keep, and Ratliff is injured, I hope it's not a big one. If we keep getting, more of those poor shooting performances, I may have to start. They beat us pretty. That's the biggest loss I think we've had this year, 86-62. I want to look at the injury real quick, and then go back to that. So I think Ratliff was injured previously. No, Odell, just 3 days. 14 days. That was Reichart. Sorry, I thought it was Ratliff. No, it is Ratliff. Okay, so he's been injured quite a bit so far this year. But back to that box score. Man, they just started out really hot against us. We shot again 35%, and they out rebounded us, almost doubled up, 43-25. Had a few guys double digits in points for them. We just outside of Robinson, who finally got on track again, 18 points. He's 13.2 points a game. Our best player right now for sure. Off the bench, Bailey 9 points, 6 points from Sandin. Reichart, he was ineffective. Just everybody on the team got a chance to play in this one, but outside of Robinson, nobody looked good. That's a tough loss, but I kind of expected that one. We got to win those home games. We got to eventually get an upset though on the road. And we're playing Rutgers at home. They're struggling, 1-4 in the Big Ten. Doesn't mean a whole lot. They might be looking for a big win here, and they get it. So we're 2-3. So much for that good start. And that's the team. Those are the games we have to win, without question. Those are the games we have to win. And we've got a team incident, and I have a feeling it's going to be the same players, but they beat us pretty easily, 67-52. No, I'm looking at the wrong. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong box score there. 77-70. 49% shooting for them from the field, 45 for us, but really cold in three-pointers, and that did us in. Aubrey Morris for them had 20 points. Good scoring from their starting lineup. Jennings, 10 points, 5 rebounds. Robinson, another pretty good game. Got in foul trouble. So did Parks. Parks was really ineffective. Uche, Lee, not much from that starting lineup this time. And then bench play was so-so. Ratliff gave us 7 points, but that was in 20 minutes. Reichart, 6 points in 20 minutes. So those guys didn't really do too well either. So that's a bummer. I mean, that would have been a key win. We'd have been a couple games over 500. And it's been so difficult to get anything going with this team. And got some email notifications. Probably again, it's going to be on recruiting. Hopefully some positive news. So let's take a look though at these incidents once that comes up, and we're going to be playing Wisconsin on the road. But boy, Wisconsin 1-5 in the Big Ten. So post-game incident, Peter Peterson. Okay, so this has been back and forth between these two. I can take the hit to Peter Peterson, so I'm just gonna contact him and yeah. So I'd rather make him mad than these other guys. Eddie Perry, I mean, what's the deal with this guy? Coach relationship. So That's why I haven't really been doing the context. I don't know if you could pay attention much to what was going on there. He wasn't receptive. And these two guys, they're seniors. I'm not gonna work too hard on the relationship side of it at the moment. I know that that's probably going to play into the game a little bit, but um, I don't know how to fix it at this point. So we got Rutgers, Nebraska. Abe Gaines had a good visit. Tremaine Anderson a decent visit. So do a little bit more recruiting here. We got Ted Brown. Did he move up? No, he's still at ninth. I'm going to see. I don't know if I've got much information from his parents. So let's. Um, so who else was here? Abe Gaines. We're third on his list right now. Let me keep working him. Okay. I mean, he's going to, he's going to want to play close to home, but that's pretty good to get him up there at that point. Go back to point guard and shooting guard this week because I really want to work on that as much as I can. Here's another West Virginia guy. Have I gotten much from him? I don't think so. Kerry Harrington. He's not too interested, but I would like to get him involved a little bit. I mean, John Davis, we're seventh on his list. And I like him for the rebounds and the assist in terms of his numbers. So I'm going to keep working on him. Program facilities, playing time. I'm just getting it all. And then let's go to shooting guard, see if I got anybody to work on there. Jim Grays, he was the guy who had a good. So get some more film from him. We got Manny Dixon, number 2. Watch some more film from him. And then Shannon Shepard, we're his top team. So he's a guy I could offer a scholarship to right now, but I'll see if I can get any more movement from Grays before I do that. I mean, I would take this guy just for the depth. I would like to probably come out of this with 2 shooting guards, and Shepard, his handling and passing might be decent. He could probably get some time at point guard. And then power forward, what's going on there? Not much. Tremaine Anderson. I'll see if I can get some more pitch information from him. Okay. Probably watch some film on him because I really do need some guys here. Sam Neeser. Again, why? I guess he had I want to scout live. I guess he had a bad visit. All right, so let's go ahead and get this Wisconsin game out of the way. This will be the last game of the episode. Looking for another big upset on the road. That would be sweet. But nope, we don't get it. So this is really, I think this is where the season goes off the rails because after that 2-1 start in conference, we've lost 3 straight, and we just need the depth. We don't have the talent to compete with these guys. I don't think it boils down to 72-59. I don't think it boils down to play style so much. I think it's just really about the talent level at this point. So looks like they way out rebounded us. So after being happy with the first few games, that started to tank on us. 18 for 45 shooting, not too bad. Defensively, we held them a little bit. They had a lot more not a lot more, just 2 more 3-pointers than we did. We were 9 for 16. Not too good from the line, but it's really, the rebounds. They got some second chance points that we didn't beat us in the paint. Their player of the game, Watson, led everybody in scoring. Jennings had a decent game here, though, 14 points. Robinson, 11. Uche, 5 assists, 11 points. Parks, not too effective at center. He's a sophomore, though. If I'm back next year, I hope he starts getting close to his max in terms of the potential. And man, that was it. I mean, this was really another poor performance. If we look at the schedule right now, we got who we got next? Purdue at home. You know what? Let me see if I can get a win to close out this episode. I don't want to give it up like this. A win to get us back to 500 would be nice. Brigham Young having a good start, 16-2, 8th in the country. I'll take a look at that too when we end the episode. I think we're getting a little bit long on time. Now, Purdue, in terms of scouting, they were scouted, I think it's in the 60s from our assistant. But, again, being at home, Purdue not a dominant team in the conference unless they've started getting some good recruits in. I just hope that we can handle them. They're 2-6 in the Big Ten. A loss here, and you can just pretty much throw out our season, really. Finally, we will. Still a long way to go, but we're at least back to 500 overall. We'll see how this one played out. Gonzaga back on top after I think last season they struggled a little bit. I've never seen them have a bad playthrough here or bad season in this playthrough until last year. So I've combining this one with the Austin Peay one, I think I've gotten about 6 seasons into it, and they've been one of the top teams every year. So a good, pretty consistent play. They had us. They were up by 2 points in the first half. It looks like defensively is how we're winning. We held them to 32% shooting, held them in check on 3-pointers. We were at 40% shooting, so that's about where we're maxing out, and went for 15 from 3-pointers. Rebounds were close, 36-36. Johnny Parks, player of the game, that may be the first time I've seen that from him. So we outscored him in the paint by a lot, 30-16. Second chance points, and then fast breaks, 10-0. Individually, Jennings, not much from him in this one. Robinson, really not much from him, except 6 rebounds, just 4 points. So Parks, looks like we won this one from the bench more than anything. Uche was ineffective. Lee, 10 points. But Ratliff and Bailey and Odell and Reichart got a lot of playtime here. And Sandin even got 11 minutes, 7 points. I don't know what to say about this one. It wasn't really dominant. I don't know. I mean, outside of Parks, with the 8 rebounds and 2 blocks, not much to really showcase in terms of positive play. But a win's a win. And looking at the games coming up, so we've got Nebraska at home and then at Rutgers. I mean, we could be competitive against those two. Illinois at home, Michigan State at home, then Maryland, who's struggling a little bit this year. I mean, we were only playing Northwestern once, but it's at home. They're a team that we play really well against. Iowa, if I'm remembering right, we have yet to beat them. So 3 and 4 in the conference. The goal is to win 10 in this conference. So we're going to have to win 7 out of these next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going to have to win 7 out of the next 13. Maybe it's doable. It might be doable. Without that, Indiana and Maryland, those are, 2 pretty good wins. Without those, we're not even close. Looking at the standings, it's probably pretty upside down this year. Look at Iowa, 6-0. Michigan State, Michigan, Ohio State, a big surprise. Illinois, Minnesota. Maryland, though, is probably the big surprise this year. 3-4 in conference, 11-4 overall. Well, take that back. Wisconsin, 2-6. Indiana, 0-7. So we've got Wisconsin coming up as well. Maybe they're in a. Now they've got some decent players here. Not sure what's going on with them. They're probably going to turn it around. They're not going to be the same team in the second half, I'm thinking. So we've got Wisconsin. Rutgers, Wisconsin, Purdue, Indiana. So of the 13 games we've got left, so we're going to be playing Indiana, Rutgers, and I think one more against Maryland. Is that right? So we're really only playing those guys twice. Yeah, 3 times. Those are the probably the more best chances we have. Or am I looking at I'm looking at the wrong team. Gosh, sorry. It does that sometimes. I forget it, you have to change the team back, but at the dashboard. But so yeah, we've got Rutgers, Maryland, Purdue. Yeah, so we've only got really 3 games that we're playing against the bottom competition. So it's going to be tough. This is going to be a really tough thing to win 7 games, but that's the goal. Looking at the overall standings in the rest of the NCAA this year, Villanova 20-0, ranked first. Kentucky, Florida, Gonzaga, Arkansas. Those have been Kansas. And Arizona. Those have been some big teams throughout this playthrough. Is there any surprises? Seton Hall, Butler. Well, Kent State, they're kind of new. RPI rankings. This is not available yet. Our RPI is 143, not that great. But who can say? We've had some I think upsets so far, so we may have a chance at it. But as always, I appreciate you guys watching and commenting and supporting the channel. And I'll probably play through the meat of this middle of the season here, do some more recruiting, come back maybe and take over the last 6 games of the season. Hopefully we'll be in a good spot to make it to 500 or above this year. But appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you next episode.